Hey everybody, my name's James, and today we're going to be doing a little bit of a different video for you. We're going to be taking a look using our company's proprietary software, the A1 Edge Finder. We're going to be looking at the foreign exchange and gold market today. We'll be sharing some trade ideas and some market scans with you. If you like this style of content from us, please remember to subscribe, like, and leave a comment down below letting us know that you like these kinds of videos and you want to see more of these in the future. We plan on doing more of these. So first today, we're going to take a look at the market heat map. So here we are inside of our A1 Edge Finder software. Like I said, we're going to go take a look at the market heat map. And some of the strongest movers to the upside today are up here at the top. You can see that we color coordinate the strongest here in blue and the weakest down here in red. So our top six today are CHF-JPY, USD-JPY, EURO-JPY, CAD-JPY, NZD-JPY, and GBP-JPY. So the yen is looking pretty weak today, but again, these are our top six up here. Bottom six down here, we've got the GBP-CHF, US oil, AUD-SUD, AUD-CHF, the JP225, and the US 10-year down here. So day traders may look to take advantage of some of these highly volatile markets today. Next, we'll take a look at our score chart summary page. So you can navigate over here on the left, score chart summary, and you can see again, we've got all of these pairs listed here from top to bottom, blue to red. And so on this page, you'll see metrics we believe are important for traders to take into consideration. For example, across the top up here, you can see that we scan for things like institutional trading position, retail sentiment, seasonality, trend reading, GDP growth, inflation, unemployment, and interest rate divergence. Then, considering all the markets we just listed, we rank all the assets by score. A higher score receives a stronger buy rating, and a lower score receives a stronger sell rating. Now let's take a look at the current reading. We can see the top 5 highest ranked markets for potential buying according to our software are USDCAD, USDJPY, USDTRY, EURJPY, and AUD-NZD. So these are our top 5 right here, USDCAD being the strongest with a score of 5. But we can also see the bottom of the list, the lowest ranked markets and potential for selling. Down here are GBP USD, GBP CAD, NZD CHF, and Euro USD. These are all pretty low, GBP USD being the lowest with a score of -8. Feel free to pause the video now and have a look at our total list of assets that our software tracks if there's any particular market that you would like to look out for. Our software includes things like major and minor currency pairs, as well as certain indices like the S&P 500 and commodities like gold or oil. Now let's take a closer look at some of our top rated buys and sells to see if we have any opportunities moving forward with those. First, we'll take a look at our number 1 buy rank today, that is USD-CAD. Okay, so taking a look at USD-CAD, which again is our number 1 buy rank today. This market has received an overall score of a +5, which is pretty good. You can also see that listed here. Now breaking it down, we can see the institutional positioning has received a score of +1. That's also known as the COT data. And in the COT section down here, if we scroll down a little bit, we can see that positioning by banks and hedge funds have it listed at let's call it 76% long, 24% short, and the Canadian dollar over here at a 49.3% long and a 50.67% short. Retail sentiment for this market, listed right here, is distributed at a 16% long and 84% short. Remember, generally speaking, we're looking to be on the less popular side of this metric. As we know, retail traders tend to be wrong on many of their trades. Now we'll look at the seasonality chart, and that's found right here under the retail sentiment. Historically, in the month of June, it's been negative for this market, but not by much. You can see that in the last 5 years, it's only a -0.01. So you can actually see here on this chart, we have our all-time average, last 5-year average, and the current year average. So All-time average is at a 0 because the current year average is at a 0.1, while the last 5 years are at a negative 0.1. But historically speaking, going into the month of July, it tends to trend downward before coming back up again. Overall, the trend reading for this market is a +2, which you can see right here. And that tells us that the market is trending up or down respectively. Now let's take a look at the economic data for this market. For GDP growth, which can be found right here in the middle, we see the US dollar is at a negative 0.15% here with 8.6% inflation, while the Canadian dollar is at 0.8% growth here in 6.8% inflation. And this lands this market a GDP growth score of a -1 and an inflation score of -1 as well. Unemployment score can also be found right here. This has a +1 rating. And finally, interest rates can be found right here next to the unemployment chart. US dollar, 3.6% unemployment, Canadian dollar, 5.1% unemployment. Interest rate right here, the US dollar at 1.75% and the Canadian dollar at 1.5%. So both in the red right here. So that's just a little tour around the edge finder for our #1 buy pair today, which again is the US dollar Canadian dollar pair. You can also see the daily price chart here. But now let's take a look at our #1 sell. In our content, you may have noticed that we occasionally use our own proprietary software to research the markets. This market scanner is called the A1 Edge Finder, and it is a tool our team has spent a lot of time designing and updating. The scanner imports data on things like retail positions to see what retail traders are buying or selling. It also imports bank and hedge fund positioning so that we can get an inside look at what the big players are up to. Of course, we pay attention to fundamentals, so we program the tool to grab economic data in real time to help keep us up to date. If you'd like a copy of the tool yourself, we're doing a major subscriber discount when you use code A1YT at checkout. In the description below, you'll find a link to get access to the tool. By purchasing our software, you'll be supporting our research videos here, as well as getting access to an amazing tool. Again, use code A1YT down below. Now, back to the video. So if we go back to score chart summary, we can scroll down here, and there we are. GBP USD is our strongest sell of the day with a score of -8. There we are. Strong sell bias, -8, about as low as you can go on the edge finder. And let's go back through and look at some of these different scores again. So first off, again, like I said, our strong sell bias score, -8 here. Definitely looking to sell the pound dollar pair. Institutional positioning or COT data, again, receives a score of -2. If we go down, we can look more closely at this COT data. We have the US dollar at a, let's call it 76% long, 24% short, and the pound at 24.72% long and 75.28% short. Retail sentiment here, -1. Most of our numbers are going to be in the red because this again is our strong sell of the day. Seasonality chart here. In June, last 5-year average, -0.01, all-time average 0.01, current year average -0.02. So this is coming up from a little bit of a dip here, but still in the red before coming up historically, trending upwards later on in the year. That gives our trend reading here a score of -2 right now. Back to GDP growth, we can see here the pound GDP growth 0.8%, inflation 9%, the dollar -1.5%, inflation 8.6% again, and you can see here our GDP growth is a 1, inflation -1, and then same thing here for unemployment and interest rate divergence, both score -1. And you can go more in depth into these charts right here. GBP unemployment 3.8%, US dollar 3.6%, interest rate here 1.25%, US dollar 1.75%. And just like all the commodities, indices, or pairs, we can see the current price chart here with our 14, 7-day, 4-day average and the price right now. And so that is a quick look into our A1 Edge Finder software. Again, if you guys like this video, please remember to subscribe to A1 Trading down below and leave a comment saying that you like this style of content from us, and we'll continue to make more of it.